They charged her too. She still has a felony on her record. It's like 20 years later. What is that, 2004? I said, yeah, 2004. 20 years later. It still haunts her. Shit's fucked up. Oh, what up? Let's get the camera right. We got a lot of light in here right now. Let's get some music to jam too. Oh. I don't know, it's kind of bright like that. Where's everybody? Mustang, I see you. Always in there. All in, Denver Bay. How's everybody's evening? We're going to talk about Trump tonight. I want to know what people think. Is he even electable? Right? He might have been, Trump might have been the only person that could have lost to Biden. Anybody think of that? What if they'd have ran anybody else, then maybe they'd have won? Because Biden's horrible. Little Tim? Little tummy? Right? Because everybody agrees that Biden has shit the bed. So anybody that runs against him should be a shoo-in. But if Trump's toxic, right? If Trump's too toxic, if he's like a toxic ex, if they're like, you can save the planet, all you got to do is get back to with that one ex that you can't stand. Is that how the country sees it? Will they ruin their chances? Will the Republicans ruin their chances? Will they follow Trump off a ledge? That's the question. Let's get to this. Hold on, let's get to this. All right. I should have toggled the sound down and brought it down to a slow end instead of dropping it like that. I know better than that. Boom. Wesley, what up? VPS, Johnny Cab. So, I want to go over to the outskirts of Fresno first. First thing I want to do is I want to go over to Tulare County, California, and talk to a man called Victor Davis Hanson. And Victor Davis Hanson wrote a book called The Case for Trump. And he brings up a lot of things that a lot of people don't think about. And I would just like to show you guys some of the things that we don't always think, right? Because he even thinks about some things that I never thought about.
Welcome to Uncommon Knowledge. I'm Peter Robinson. A fellow at the Hoover Institution, Victor Davis Hanson is a classicist and military historian who has published more than 24 books, including A War Like No Other, his acclaimed account of the Peloponnesian Wars. Dr. Hanson's most recent work, The Case for Trump. Victor, welcome.
Thank you.
You write right here of Donald Trump that he is, and I'm quoting you, Victor, vulgar, uncouth, and divisive. You also write that you voted for him. Casting that ballot, How much regret? How much cognitive dissonance? How hard was that for you?
Oh, I have no regret. It was very easy because the alternative was Hillary Clinton. And I did take him at his word that his promises would be largely kept or attempted to be kept. And then when I used those words in the larger context, I think I was comparing them to what?
To what?
To JFK's frolicking in the pool, to LBJ's exhibitionism, to Bill, I don't want to mention Bill Clinton. But I think we have historical amnesia about what presidents are. I would have liked him to be a sterling moral exemplar like Jerry Ford and Jimmy Carter, but I'm not sure there's any equation there between that type of character and dynamic leadership. Can't all be Ronald Reagan, after all, a sterling character and an effective leader.
All right. How Trump won. So the case for Trump, there are really a couple of cases in this book. One of them is the case for Trump.
Yeah.
But the other is the case for the Americans who voted
Yes.
for Trump.
Yes.
All right. I'm quoting you here. The case for Trump. Voters in 2016, 63 million of them, preferred an authentic bad boy to a disingenuous good girl. Explain that.
Well, Trump was what he was, and he had no pretensions that he wasn't. So when he went to Fresno, he went to Tulare, California, he went to Maine, he went to Alabama, he had on the same jacket, the same weird tie, the hair, everything. When Hillary did it, it was you all down in Alabama, and then she had a Harvard accent. When Obama campaigned, he had an inner city patois. As I mentioned, John Kerry put on duck gear when he went duck hunting. Mike Dukakis put on the helmet, remember?
Yes, yes, yes.
But he didn't. And that
Trump was always the businessman from Queens.
Queens accent wherever he was. And the other thing about him was he had a strange way that nobody detected except the people who voted for him of conveying empathy. So he said our, not
Our
you.
country.
Our vets, our workers, our farmers. I can't imagine Mitt Romney or John McCain, who are supposed to be far more empathetic. And he went to West Virginia. I love big, beautiful coal. Contrast that, remember what Hillary Clinton said, I'm going to put you out of work and shut down the industry. Obama had said the same thing. So there was a way that he
There we go. We can't hear you. Nice. All right. So, like Homeboy just said, Trump was authentic across the board, same dude all the time, and that is true. If you think about Hillary Clinton, whenever she went to the South, she pulled a bottle of hot sauce out of her purse. She, you know what I mean? Just things like this. Wear the flannel. Go to Wisconsin and wear the flannels. Things of this nature. Trump acts the same all the time. And I'm still muted? Am I still muted? You guys can't hear me? Really? It's all on. Oh, I'm good? Okay. So, cool. Did I drop the link? I dropped the link, didn't I? Yeah, bam. If anybody wants to jump up. So, I mean, right now, with the what you calls are in a bad spot, right? Everybody agrees that the Democrats are in a bad spot. The best thing they got going for them right now is Biden. The most electable thing that they can come up with right now is Biden. And this is for what? This is the reason this is like this is because they're all horrible. I mean, there's plenty of politicians. There's politicians all across the country. There's hundreds of them. And this is the best they can come up with. Republicans, I don't know if Trump's the best they can come up with, but he's the most popular thing. He is by far the most popular maybe politician in the United States right now. He might be the most popular politician in the United States. I don't know of anybody that really would pull behind him or pull in front of him. But at the same time, homeboy just said all those good things about him. He made it sound good. He says, you know, he made a connection with the people. He said, our veterans, our country. He says he goes to West Virginia and he says, I love big, beautiful coal. After Clinton shows up and says, oh, we're going to shut down the coal mines. Trump shows up in West Virginia and says, I love big, beautiful coal. Right? Well, but it's not always good, though. Everything's not always good. We got to look at the other side of it, too. Right? So, let's see. I'm going to jump right over here to some other stuff.
American communities have suffered under Democratic control. To those I say the following. What do you have to lose?
The people, my people are so smart. And you know what else they say about my people? The polls. They say, I have the most loyal people. Did you ever see that? Where I could stand in the middle of Fifth Avenue and shoot somebody and I wouldn't lose any voters, okay? It's like incredible.
Because he'd rather have a puppet as president of the United
puppet,
States.
no puppet.
And it's clear you won't admit
No, you're
that the Russians...
We're going to build the wall. Mexico's going to pay for the wall. We're going to stop drugs from coming in.
Now, no matter what, you got to say, man, dude, you can see dude's a fighter, right? Whether you like him or not, dude's a fighter. He really does. He goes hard. Bam. You got a new video coming in? Nice. Democrats tricked the union into backing them last election. Now they know they were lied to. Yeah, it generally happens every time. That pretty much happens. It's unfortunate, but yeah.
To all Republicans and Democrats and independents across this nation, I say it is time for us to come together as one united people. It's time.
Some music there. Bam. So, there's good and bad about the situation, right? There's good and bad. But will the country be able to get over all of the stuff? Does the country want to go through 4 years like they just did? Because that, at the end of the day, Trump was very effective. A lot of the stuff that he did was good, a lot of the policies, but a lot of it was overshadowed by how much screaming and ranting and raving by the media and the news stories and the constant bombardment with the news stories. This overshadowed many of the good things that Trump did, and it heightened the temperature. It heightened the temperature throughout the country, and many people lost friends, people lost their jobs, people quit their jobs, people moved away from their families. They did all kinds of stuff. Now, I don't know how they've done with recollecting those, if they've, since then, if they've, you know what I mean? I had family members that were at each other's throats over this stuff, and they take it so personally. It's weird. They take it so personally. The Democrats, honestly, I feel like the black people, they were saying Ice Cube came out with a statement, and he was like the Democrats ain't done shit for black people in like forever, and we just keep voting for these people, and this is ridiculous. We might as well try something else. And that's basically what Trump just said in that video, at the beginning of that video. He said, what do you got to lose? Because these dudes ain't doing nothing for you, right? If they're not holding it down for you, what do you got to lose? Scar is in here? Who the hell is Scar? Watching Family Guy? Yeah. Oh, yeah. No worries. So, Is the country willing to go through 4 years of that again? Are they willing to ratchet up all those tensions again? Because they will. Because the news media will. Right? If Trump gets elected again, it will be the best thing in the world for any news media. And for these dying, like CNN and these dying companies, these dying media companies, it will be the best thing in the world if Trump gets elected. Right? They'll be able to just write stories all day long, just dump stories on the people about Trump ate extra ice cream and Trump did this or Trump did that or Trump peed on a woman or peed on a hooker or something like that. And it'll give them something to do. And you'll see this Democrat money come flowing in to all these media organizations like the ones that they were just falling apart. Democracy Now! And all these super lefty organizations, BuzzFeed, the ones that just collapsed. You will see a bunch of money funneled into those again just to write stories about Donald Trump, right? And this will ratchet up the temperature throughout the country because every time, you like your uncle that takes shit too far. Every time he sees something about Trump, he gets pissed off. Well, think about if once again his feed starts getting flooded with Trump stories, right? Because it's not now because Trump's out of the spotlight. But what if Trump gets back in the spotlight? That same family member, it will just start getting ratcheted back up again. The temperature will get ratcheted back up again. You're going to start seeing people turning their backs on their families, kids fighting to use it. Remember, you see these kids like outing their parents as being racist and all this other nonsense. You'll start seeing a lot of this again, And the Democrats, they encourage this. They say they don't, but they do. They encourage the behavior. It's part of the Maoist shit. It's an offshoot from the Maoist struggle sessions, right? Where the Chinese communists, they would bring the people in, and you would have to confess, and you would basically have to confess until they felt that you had, you know what I mean? If not, you would go back in the box. The Cambodians took it so far as to actually they beat a lot of people to death, and a lot of Cambodians lost their lives in what is called the killing fields. Or what is it? Is it Cambodian, North Vietnamese? No, it's Cambodian. Yeah, the Cambodian killing. It's basically the same thing, North Vietnam, Cambodia. It's just a line. But this was communism taken to the extreme. It was extreme egalitarianism, extreme communism by force. They marched into the city, ordered everybody into buses. Anybody who would refuse to come out of their house and was found in the city after dark was put to death. And it didn't matter who you were. Everybody got in the van. Everybody got to go work in the fields. Everyone. And if they ended the life of all of the academics, pretty much, the doctors, the professors, the engineers, all of the smartest people, because they didn't need these people anymore. Everybody was equal, right? So we don't need those. We need people working in the field. So they literally emptied out the capital city into buses and drove all the people in the fields and then worked them to death. And the ones that could survive, were strong enough to survive, just became part of the war-torn society. They just became food for, the workforce. They became the workforce for the Khmer Rouge, right? It was, and this was communism played out by force immediately. It showed everybody what happens if you make everybody equal overnight. You just level the playing field. Let's see. Yeah, Miss Thang, I see you doing your thing. That's cool. I'm happy for you. I'll support you all day. Trump is a way better president than Biden, but I ain't voting for him. I'm gonna I'm gonna vote against Biden. That's for sure. I don't know who's gonna be running against Biden. We'll see who's running against Biden. It'll most likely be Trump, I believe. DeSantis just doesn't seem to have the real gumption to pull that out of his hat, if we're going to be honest. He doesn't seem to be able to get around Trump in any serious way. And that's what he would have to do, because Trump is the former president. So Trump's like a huge boulder in the middle of the road, and DeSantis just can't make enough noise. He can't make enough noise. He can't really get enough attention, and because he just doesn't have enough chutzpah, I guess. You know what I mean? Enough charisma, enough. It's just the fire. He doesn't have enough fire inside of him, DeSantis. Not like Trump does. Think about Trump. Tim Pool talked about this. Trump is like, like DeSantis is like a salesman who's telling you, yeah, this car gets 37 miles to the gallon, and it's great for this, and it's a good economical family car. And Trump's like, this is the best car ever. You're going to be cruising in this car. We're going to pull the top back. Da, 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 da. And he's like, Trump's just a better salesman. We're going to, America, #1, we're going to make it great again. We're going to, you know what I mean? He's a better salesman. He's selling a better pitch, right? It's not that to say that DeSantis would be a bad leader, and it's not to say that DeSantis doesn't have points, that he's not proving points. He's also in the middle of this muck with like Disney, you know what I mean? And that's just a bad look already, because they just keep doing things to each other. They're like painting each other into corners, and it kind of looks silly. I mean, I get why he's doing it. He's fighting a lot of battles down there. And that's another thing, is DeSantis is fighting a lot of battles in Florida. He's got several irons in the fire, but, you know, you're probably not going to be one of fighting all those in the middle of running for president, you know? Like fighting battles, legal and political battles with people actually takes time, you know? And he's got to be the governor, too. I do like DeSantis, but I just don't see how he's going to be able to get around Trump. Trump wants his get backs. He wants his run back. After this 4 years, what's Trump going to be? He's going to be in his 80s, right? I don't know. Miss Thang. South Philly Hillbilly, what up? Let's see. You tell me if this guy's electable. What do you think?
Yeah, go ahead. Sure. She's shocked that I picked her.
No.
She's like in a state of shock.
I'm not thinking, Mr.
That's
President.
okay. I know you're not thinking. You never do.
I'm sorry?
No, go ahead. Go ahead.
You've called women you don't like fat pigs, dogs, slobs, and disgusting animals. Your Twitter account...
Only Rosie O'Donnell.
No, it wasn't.
So, I mean, I don't know. Maybe the country saw that and they elected him, right? If I ever vote again, I'm voting for someone like Joe Rogan or Russell Brand. Philly, what up? Not down with the lesser of two evils. Vote Pedro. Ray Whitaker, Little Weevy. Richie Poe, what up? You know, I mean, they seen him do that last time. They seen him say all this craziness last time. He's pretty funny. You got to give it to him, man. He's pretty funny, and the dude's sharp.
It's just awfully good that someone with the temperament of Donald Trump is not in charge of the law in our country.
Yeah, because you'd be in jail.
Secretary Clinton...
See, they're not even ready. They're not even ready for him. They don't know what to do. That was clowning. He said, Richard be in jail. That's why. Herb Dizzle, what up? What do you think, Herb? Can they re-elect Trump? Can the exiled king be brought back? Or is he too toxic? Is he like a toxic ex that's trying to act like she cleaned up her act, but you know she ain't cleaned up her act? You know she's crazy. She's going to burn all your stuff, or she's going to pour bleach all over your stuff. She's going to do something weird, guaranteed, every time. What do you think? Is she too toxic of an ex? Is Trump too toxic? Or can we bring her back? Do we got one more roll in the hay? We'll try to make it work with her one more time.
We give state dinners to the heads of China. I say, why are you doing state dinners for them? They're ripping us left and right. Just take them to McDonald's and go back to the negotiating table. Seriously. It's true.
Okay.
I want to get paid the same as a man, and I think you understand that. So, if you become president, will a woman make the same as a man, and do I get to choose what I do with my body?
She almost looks like a plant. She looks like so much of a damn feminist. Look at her. Right? She's like over the top feminist, dog. It almost looks like they planted her in the audience. Look at this guy.
You're going to make the same if you do as good a job. You're going to make the same if you do as good a job.
You know, last night, I called Hillary a nasty woman. But this stuff is all relative. After listening to Hillary rattle on and on and on, I don't think so badly of Rosie O'Donnell anymore.
Oh, Sticks, what up? Boom. Anybody want to jump up? We're talking about whether or not Trump's re-electable. Or who do you think? Who do y'all think? Trump or DeSantis? Or Biden? Maybe Biden. I don't know. Hey, man, a whole bunch of the country voted for Biden, too. Let's be honest. He still is the president right now. So he's going to be the number one contender. He's the number one contender. He's got the throne right now. Right? Conrad, what up? Fuck everyone who voted for Biden. It's like half the country, dog. You know, I would have took Hillary, dog. If I had a choice between Biden and Hillary, I'd take Hillary. Hillary's at least paying attention. She's at least awake. You know what I mean? Like, seriously. Yeah, happy birthday, Miss Thang. Happy birthday. 410 in the house. What's good? He wasn't lying. Maybe he was wrong. Boom. Let's see.
In fact, I'm actually starting to like Rosie a lot.
Do you accept Matt Whitaker to be involved in the Russia probe? Do you want him to...
It's up to him.
Do you want him to rein in Robert Mueller?
What a stupid question that is. What a stupid question. But I watch you a lot. You ask a lot of stupid questions.
Mr. President, since you attack CNN, can I ask you a question?
John Roberts, go ahead, John.
That fool don't take no shit, dog. I miss these, dog. I miss the old whatchamacalls where Trump would just go in on these people and just tell them how he really feels. I'm muted again. Boom. Let's see. Yeah, these whatchamacalls come in late. These I think the the comments come in late. Shoot the link. Bam. So, I guess referring to being stuck. Trump is still going to be, you know what I mean? He's already been president. They're going to look at him like that, and I don't see any real reason that DeSantis, unless DeSantis does something drastic pretty soon, I don't see any way he's going to be able to get around him. You know? What up, my friend?
What's up, brother? I'm going to keep myself muted because I got cartoons and the baby over here, but
All right.
this is too good a conversation not to get into.
Yeah. Yeah, it's you know, well, I mean, what do you think? Because I've heard you talk about DeSantis, and I believe if you're talking about liking DeSantis, that probably has something to do with the fact that you think Trump might be a little toxic, because the people who like DeSantis generally think that he, you know what I mean? He's like Trump light, basically.
He is. He's Trump light. He's, as he says, Trump without the crazy. And he's done amazing things in Florida. He really has. He's the reason we moved to Florida, because he's keeping all the gender politics and the all of this out of schools. And I don't want my kid learning that stuff. So that's why we moved here. But at the same time, he needs to fall back. He needs to try and make a bid for the vice president nomination. And he needs to learn how to become a really good president under Trump for the next 4 years and shore up that ticket. If you get Trump DeSantis 2024, that is a rough team to beat right there. And I think he would learn a lot. And
you don't think here we go. What about Ramaswamy? Well, but what if DeSantis ties his boat to Trump's bumper, and Trump brings them both down because he's too toxic?
I don't think DeSantis is a follower in that regard. I don't think Trump would kind of poison DeSantis. I think Trump's best choice for vice president would be what's his name out of Texas? God.
Ted Cruz?
No, not Ted Cruz. The war vet, lost an eye. Shit. Dan Crenshaw. Dan Crenshaw would be amazing with Trump, because he is Trump without the crazy. I like him more than I like DeSantis.
Okay.
Like, he really just says it how it is. He's very smart. You know, he's been to war. That's a big thing to me too.
They call it. I don't know. I mean, the counterculture is not a fan of him in a lot of ways.
Well, the counterculture is definitely not a fan of any Republican.
No, that's not what I'm talking. That's not the counterculture now. The counterculture is the Republicans, homie. The conservative side are the rock stars now. For somewhere along the line, the hippies in the 1960s decided that the government was telling them the truth. I'm not quite sure exactly how it happened, but it used to be them. The Republicans were the ones aligned with the government, right? Traditionally.
Yeah.
And a law and order. And now, somehow or another, there seems to be a rift between politics and law and order, almost, right?
Absolutely.
Whereas they used to be in bed together, right? The police were just the militant arm of the politicians, historically, right? In Boston and things of this nature, even in the old days, that's basically what police forces were, right? And there's a disconnect there now.
Hold on, baby. Yeah, there's a disconnect with. Hey, Daddy's talking. There's a disconnect when it comes to anybody who thinks like Trump. Basically, I think Cruz would be the best for what you're talking about when it comes to, the Republican counterculture, as you say. He fits that mold because he's a lifelong politician.
No, I'm talking about Crenshaw. Crenshaw did something. He sold out, dog. They have an actual grief against him, dog. I didn't pay attention to it too much because he's not. I don't dislike him or like him, so I don't pay attention. He's cool. You know what I mean? He's cool. I don't mind him. He says some smart things. He does.
Well,
but like because of that, I don't know the specifics of the beef they have against him, but they have a serious beef. He did something. Like they love Tulsi Gabbard. They love, you know what I mean, all the same people that you do. But I know there's a section of society that has a serious beef that would normally vote Republican that is not a fan of that dude.
A sold out Tucker Carlson is what they're saying.
Is it? Is that
and he
what it
tried
is?
to keep Eddie Gallagher, a fellow Navy SEAL, in prison for war crimes.
Oh, that'll do it.
Oh, that's not a good look.
That'll do it.
I didn't know nothing about all that. I know.
I don't know if it's true, but I know there's some beef there.
I know. You remember when it froze in Texas? And we didn't have power for like 5 days. Ted Cruz took his family to Cancun, bro.
Yeah, I know.
And they said, "Oh, he's a piece of." Look, if I could have gotten my family to Cancun, I'd have been in Cancun with Ted Cruz.
It's still a bad look.
It is a bad look though
It's
when
still
we were
a
out there
bad
freezing,
look.
man.
And I believe him when he said he already had it planned. He was like, it was planned ahead of time. I get that, but that's part of being a politician, homie. Looks is everything, but optics is everything. How things look. Whenever you're a politician, doesn't matter what you think or what you feel, what you felt in your heart. Whenever you did whatever you did with politics, it's about how it looks.
Yeah.
And that looked horrible.
This is how we're talking, by the way.
Yeah. I like DeSantis, and I love the fact he keeps us open down here during COVID. I do think he started to ponder a little bit, though. Pander a little bit. Crenshaw messed up bad when he went behind Eddie Gallagher's back and tried to keep him in prison. Think you're muted, or it's just I'm probably muted. Yeah.
I mean, what did he do, though? What did Eddie Gallagher do?
Who knows?
So,
is that the Marine that they're keeping in prison that did something overseas?
Yeah, let's break down what...
I think he went a little harder than he should have. If I remember right, he went harder than he should have, basically. And maybe somebody lost their life or something like that. Is that right?
I mean, yeah, if he lost his mind and blew up a village, bro, like, come on, what are we talking about here? I don't know the specifics.
Let's look. Let me look. Hold on, I'll pull it up. I'm not sure if I'm either. I seem to remember somebody losing their life. I don't remember it was a bunch of people, but I remember him getting charged, I think, for murder or something. Eddie Gallagher. Let's see. Retired.
Yeah.
Was accused of war crimes. Okay, let's pull it up. He is accused of war crimes. Let's see. We'll go over to NPR and see what they've got to say. Okay. Journalist Eddie Gallagher. Case reveals a war for the soul of the Navy SEALs. Gallagher was court-martialed for shooting at civilians from a sniper's post and ending a defenseless captive in Iraq. So he murked somebody. New York Times correspondent Dave Phillips chronicles the case in Alpha. Let's see. This is Fresh Air. I'm Dave Davies, and today for Terry Gross, in 2018, a decorated U.S. Navy SEAL was arrested and accused of some shocking crimes. Investigators said while Eddie Gallagher was leading a platoon of these elite commandos into the battle to retake Mosul, Iraq from ISIS, he stabbed a defenseless prisoner to death. The accusations came from SEALs in Gallagher's own platoon, who said he was also known for taking shots at civilians from his sniper's nest, killing at least 2. If you recall Gallagher's name, it might be because His cause was championed by President Trump and covered extensively by Fox News programs. My guest at the New York Times, David Phillips, covered Gallagher's trial and interviewed many of the Navy SEALs who leveled the allegations against Gallagher. Phillips also acquired much of the evidence in the case, including thousands of documents, helmets, cam images, photos, text messages, video recordings of the interviews of the Navy SEALs from the Navy investigators.
Okay. And they're saying that
He was going too hard. That's why I kind of put it that way. That's kind of what I remembered in my head is just in general he was going too hard.
right. So Richie Poe says there was a kid that was shot and Gallagher and his team were accused of killing him even though he was going to die anyway. Yeah, but going to die anyway. I mean, are you saying that it was a mercy killing? Is that what we're talking about here, or
that unfortunately that defense doesn't work at all. I was putting them out of their misery. There's
right.
an actual law against that. It's considered a war crime.
Right. Like
it's considered ending a defenseless person.
So the dude stabbed a detainee to death and then smoked 2 civilians in a sniper's nest. From his sniper's nest.
Those are accusations, though. Those aren't now. But they are saying he hit that one fool. He stabbed that one fool. But there's reports that he's taking pot shots at people out of his nest.
Okay.
They can't prove that, right?
Yeah.
They can't prove that. But these are something that came up in the interview, is what it sounded like. But the dude that he clearly hit, that's clearly somebody they know who it is. Because they had him in captivity, right?
Right.
Yeah.
So, I mean, I don't know, man. I don't know. It's...
yeah.
I mean, it's hard to want to take up for a guy, you know?
Well, you can't condone any of that. You can't do that. I don't know how long homeboy, he looked like he'd been around for a little while. Maybe he came from a different type of war, a different time. You know what I mean? And thought he could do that. But that don't fly no more. You know
right.
what I mean? Yeah, he's an older dude. I would say he's in his 40s, I bet you. Yeah, so this is an old school dude. Years of service from 1999 to 2019, so he had 20 years in Naval Special Warfare Group. And he was born in 1979, so that makes him, what?
44.
44 now. Yeah.
So Herb says, look what they did to bin Laden. The reason that there was no body is they took it back to Bagram and used it for target practice.
They said they jumped it in the ocean. I don't know.
Yeah.
Who knows? I wouldn't have. I'd have kept it. You know what I mean? Or I'd have cut his finger off or something. I'd have kept a piece. You know what I mean?
It's just, I don't know. It's so crazy. All I do know is it's just going to keep getting crazier if they continue to stay in office.
He says my volume's low.
Daddy, I don't need help anymore. I know it.
Okay.
How about now?
That's better.
Is that better? It's right in front of me.
What microphone is that? I just ordered one on Amazon for like $35. It has gain controls, volume controls.
Daddy, really want more.
This one's Razer. It's called Razer Siren, I think, or something like that. Story goes, civilian shot was going to die, and they kind of used him as first aid for cheese. Yeah. Yeah, you can't do that stuff.
I found it.
G Dirt. Hey, bro. Listen, it's so crazy. I'm just cutting everybody off left and right.
He's saying they traked the kid, and that they're claiming that he stabbed him, but that he's saying that he was traking him.
Oh.
The plot thickens. He's saying.
Whoa.
I just hit him in the neck. I must have missed. Forget about it. Yeah.
I was trying to open his airway up.
Yeah. I was trying to trach the kid.
It's cold. It's a cold. War is a cold game, bro.
Well, like I said, you could just tell homie was just going hard. That's all. You know what I mean? Just going balls out, dog, in a war zone. You know.
Anna says, "Is that? Let's see." She says that's not what I heard. It was a technical thing. I heard it was them or him. I don't know what we're talking about. 14 different things though.
He was cleared of all wrongdoing. What happened? What happened? Did Trump pardon him?
Oh, so he was cleared of all wrongdoing, and then Crenshaw came out and spoke out against him. See, that's wrong. I think if you're cleared on something, you're cleared. You know, that's why we have libel laws and shit like that.
He got cleared, or did Trump let him go? I don't know if he got, because it seems like Trump let him go. Trump gave him a pardon or something like that. Which doesn't really mean you're innocent. It just means they're forgiving you. I don't know. Well, there's one takes it off your record, one doesn't.
Yeah, you do.
Yeah.
Daddy,
Real question is, what do you think is wrong with half these YouTubers? Shit is mind blowing. Hey, homie, I wouldn't even try to quantify what's wrong with YouTube.
Hey, it's a gnarly, stupid place, bro. Like,
Daddy, I don't want to do it.
the people I call brother have been cut in half over the last couple of weeks.
Hey man, but you know what though? Just not even as far as like personal situations, but just in general, YouTube is something else. YouTube is the second biggest search engine in the world, behind Google. The only one that's not as big or that's bigger is actually Google itself. YouTube is. We don't realize how much stuff is out there that we just don't encounter. How many hours, billions and billions of hours of people just whipping their cock out or just talking about weird stuff or crying drunk. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
It's just, and people. Okay, this is all I'm going to say is I noticed a long time ago that human beings use social media for several different things, whereas I will use Facebook to share things that I think are funny or stupid.
Yes.
You know what I mean? Or to like, maybe now I'd like share a video, one of my own videos or something, somebody else's, and laugh at funny stuff and look at stupid videos or whatever. Talk to my family and friends. Several people see Facebook as a place to vent all of their problems.
Yeah.
Several people see Facebook as a place to talk about their relationships. And who am I to say they're wrong? I can't say they're wrong. They have that's what they use.
I don't know,
Facebook.
bro.
It's what you use Facebook for. I'm
Listen,
not going to tell you what you do is wrong, right?
My
This
life.
is how you see Facebook. That's how you interface with Facebook.
Right.
It's just different.
My life is absolute garbage on the back end, and hardly anybody knows about it because I do not come on here to talk about that. You know, like it's just not the place for it. It's nobody's business on YouTube. It's, you know, if you come out and you say, oh, I lost a friend like I have or shit like that, that's different. But to just be talking about personal problems and it's a weird dynamic, bro. Who would want the entire world to know their personal problems?
Well, there's a bunch of people.
Yeah.
There's a bunch of people. So that's right. So now you're at an impasse. You don't understand something, but we both agree that thing exists, homie. So now it's incumbent upon you to try to understand why that exists. Not to say, oh, that's weird. These people are weird. No, this is a section of the population, dog, that interfaces with YouTube or Facebook or Instagram or whatever in this way. And this is a large chunk of the population that does it.
Yeah.
Why do they do this? And there's people who do it for others. There's people who just gangbang. That's all they do is they get on Instagram and gangbang and talk shit to each other.
We've come across that too.
Yeah, just go shoot at each other. You know what I mean? There's people who talk about their problems. There's people who talk about whatever their political issue is. That's all they talk about. They interface in a political sphere.
Right.
You never know. Some people, look at Fred the Boy Blue. He just gets on there and just begs for donations and gets drunk. And wears his little nose and does like Juggalo stuff. He drops Juggalo wisdom. I was watching one the other day. It was Juggalo wisdom. It's not bad either. It's not bad. There's some pretty good. I mean, it's just general wisdom, but I guess it's Juggalo wisdom too. You know?
I don't know. I use it just to tell stories and laugh and have fun, and pick up friends along the way. But it just seems to keep biting me in the ass. So I'm just going to keep telling stories and laughing along the way.
Oh yeah, of course.
And I'm cutting the rest out. Like we have our channel, which gives me a reprieve from my daily grind on my channel. And whoever rocks with us, and whoever doesn't, I just block out of my life.
I want to know how the engine works. You know what I mean?
Daddy, I don't know where that was.
He says Crenshaw was behind the scenes trying to keep him in the brig.
Well, that's Herb Dizzle said that he thinks that he was court-martialed, and then Trump. There, baby, right there. See, then the pardon came in. Does that go there? That doesn't go there.
No.
And then Crenshaw tried to keep him locked up.
Yeah, that was a bad look. I don't know what that fool was thinking. Should have probably just stayed out of that one. Country is crooked.
Daddy, I don't
Think
go
about
there.
Wesley's. I personally know JSOC operator.
See, look, here's the top.
Yet to
And you
find
can
one
read.
that did
Hold on,
it.
I got to explain something to my daughter real quick.
You're good. They have their community, and these bad. If he was these bad dudes, these dudes definitely wouldn't back him. Lil Wayne and Kodak Black weren't wrongly convicted. No, they did that shit. I'm pretty sure. That's true, gang. Says a lot of people use this shit to get their feelings out. They use it to talk shit. Yeah, you never know. People interface with all kinds of ways. I purposely go out of my way to go search out new live streams, just random live streams, just to see what's going on. You know what I mean? And I try to find people that I think are weird and that I think are like completely different than me, just to see what they're doing. I follow some women in like the Philippines, I think. I don't even think she speaks English. But she be dancing and stuff. And it's not like some sexual weird stuff or nothing. But she be dancing and she's got a little camera set up in her room and just does like little light shows and stuff. Yeah.
One of my guilty pleasures lately has been I'll go to the recommended lives on YouTube, right? People that I've never heard of, never seen. They just happen to be live. And I'll find the ones that only have, 10 people in them. And I'll go in there and I'll just start chopping it up with them. And I don't ever try and push my channel or, sometimes they'll look at the channel and they'll say, oh, hey, But other than that, I'm not in there for any other reason, just to talk to normal people. I don't know, baby.
Yeah, hell yeah.
And it's a lot more fun sometimes when people don't know anything about you and you just show up saying hi.
Daddy, where is it?
I don't know, baby. You lost
yeah, it's the lesser of two evils is real. We got two choices. That's pretty much it. And it sucks. Wolfpack Fishing, what up? New gay thug sells his ass and lick nuts for what the hell?
Is Lil Timmy's in here?
Yeah.
Oh, hey, Lil Timmy saw that there's quite the thumbnail coming out with all of our faces on it tonight. I'm not going to mention whose podcast it's on, but
yeah,
Lil Timmy's face is even on it.
Oh, Timmy.
Lil Timmy and Bigfoot.
Who the fuck is Lil Timmy?
Who the fuck?
That line's gonna live in infamy, dog, forever.
Daddy, what?
Wolfpack fishing, hell yeah, bro. I subscribe to you.
Hell yeah, yeah. His whatchamacall's up there. Everybody, look out for Wolfpack fishing. Bam. You're about to smack your kid's head on that fan. Can't hear you. You're muted.
I said it just looked like it.
Oh. Take the kid out with a helicopter?
Yeah. All right.
You know, I just don't know if the country's going to want to go through 4 years of white knuckling, because that's what's going to happen, right? With last time that they elected Trump, it was a big old middle finger, right, to the establishment. We said, we don't like what you guys are doing anymore. We're going to turn the table over, and we'll take the chance with the crazy person, right? And then for 4 years, the world just went, like the media just went ape shit, right? The media went ape shit. They self-immolated. Look at all these companies are failing now. They didn't even care, which was crazy to me. I didn't think they would do that. I didn't think a company would keep pushing a political agenda all the way up until the day that it went bankrupt. CNN literally, it was a complete inability to pivot and stop what they were doing and move in another direction before they went bankrupt. They just kept blah, 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 Russia, Trump, blah, 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 until, but, imagine doing that. Imagine making a video and it doesn't do well. And then you make another video about it and it does even worse. And it does even worse. And it does even worse. And you just keep doing this until you're completely bankrupt. That's basically what they did.
I've seen YouTubers do that. All right.
Dad vibes.
Let's get our camera face on. Let me do my hairdo.
Yeah. There you go. Wolfpack just subbed up.
Yeah, Wolfpack is one of Doug's friends. He sent us over there.
Okay. I got you, Wolfpack.
Does fishing with his kid.
That's a good niche right there.
Yeah. Yeah, I shared him on my channel. Maybe you can get a couple subs out of it.
Yeah, that's a good niche. I'm going to pick up I'm going to do an interview. Oh, okay, so this is what I want to talk about. We're pretty much over as far as Trump's concerned. Okay, so this merchandise store, what you know about this merchandise store?
Okay, so I did Teespring. Absolute garbage product. Way overpriced. So I went, Martha put me onto it. You go on Amazon and you can make your own shirts. Now they're made in like Romania, so they have to clear customs and all types of stuff. But the people who I've sent, I've promised shirts to certain people, so I just send it straight to their house. So I've never seen one, but they said that they were good quality, and that's Ruger and Jamie Rupert. So, and they cost me out the door like $15 to make.
Okay.
And front and back design.
Okay.
So.
But you've never actually seen one though?
No.
What's it got on it? How much stuff does it got on
it? It was the entire torso.
Yeah.
And then on the back I put Vegas profile stories.
Nice.
And it was that cartoon picture of me.
Okay. So the homeboy in town, the homeboy Conrad, actually I think he's in the comments right now. The homeboy Conrad has a whole printing setup, and he's buying, like he said, he's about to buy like a new like $20,000 machine, right? And I don't know if he's running it out of his house or where exactly he's running it. I'm going up there tomorrow to do an interview with him and talk about this stuff. But from what I could tell, it's like you're supposed to connect. What did you do? Did you even connect
Well,
any website or Teespring? You connected Teespring to
I connected
YouTube?
Teespring, and now I've disconnected Teespring. And what I'm going to do is maybe.
Well, what would Teespring do? Teespring was like they're keeping a percentage or something like
They're
that?
keeping a lot of it, bro. We get like $8 a shirt, and they were selling them for like $30.
Okay.
Yeah.
Um,
And it was real low quality stuff. So if I get the designs to Anna, who has a press.
Well, the homie's got a press, and so I went and looked. He's got everything to do all that shit, to do super high quality or way low quality, whatever way you want to do it. He could do that.
Yeah.
We talked about it for a minute today. Now, this is what I'm figuring is, so I went and looked up what would I want to do? What do I want to connect to it? Well, if I'm going to do it, I should just connect my own store. I should just go build a Wix website. I looked up what is the best for an online store. They said Wix. Well, I've already built numerous websites with Wix. I know how to use Wix. I have a Wix account. So it's like $400 or something like that. It's like $400 to get it started. That gets you your domain, that gets you everything, and you basically have a functional store. Then you have to go in and just do all the stuff. Like you have to load in. I would have to take some, get some example shirts and stuff like that.
Yeah.
Have the homies model them or something like that. I'm serious, you know, and take some pictures and then load the pictures in as examples. You would have to do all that by hand, but if you don't, it costs like $1,000, from what I can tell. To buy a pre-built one, it's between like $700 and $1,000, or it's $400 if I build it myself. It's $400 for the bare bones, and then I got to build it myself. But then it's all mine, right? Once I build it myself.
Yeah, but you could just.
Once I build it myself, all the money goes to, once we buy the actual shirt, the only money goes to me and Conrad, the only profit.
Right.
And then I just load my website. I'm just sending everybody to my website to buy the stuff.
I don't know, because I never expected it to go like this.
What do you mean?
Like, I didn't expect within a year to be 17,000 subs in and, 2 million views, video views in,
Yeah.
Like.
A little overwhelming.
Well, I've never really given it any thought when it comes to merchandise because, people don't think like that. You don't think when you go into something like this, hey, when I make it big, how am I going to do the merch? Like,
I think there's a lot of people who think of stuff like that.
Well, they don't usually do very well.
I know. I know. Spend all your time thinking about how you're going to spend your money.
Mm-hmm.
Let's see, what did he say? He says, yeah, I need direct-to-garment printing like those guys Harvey-type shirts. I have business for someone with a DTG printer can do them. Well, the homie's up there doing his thing. He does it as a profession, right? He does this like for a living, the homie Conrad. So, and he's been doing it, and he's pretty much, I think what he said is that's all he's ever done since he got out of prison. He got out of prison like 15 years ago or something like that. And
Yeah.
He's been doing this ever since. So he's clearly a professional, clearly knows what he's doing. He was like, we can go get the clothes and da 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 da. I need to get a logo together is what I need to do. I need to figure out something for a logo.
I know. I got to get my brother a laptop so that he can start digitally making art for me. Because right now, I mean, you can draw anything out. It's not going to look, and it's not going to come under the file that I need it to be able to upload it as a logo and things like that.
Oh, well, that's what, an Illustrator file? What do you need?
Yeah, basically to make the logos, to digitally make them and not hand drawn,
Yeah, that's I believe the industry standard is still Illustrator, Adobe Illustrator.
Yeah.
AI, yeah. I don't know, but yeah, I need to get one. I need to just decide on a font with the word gangish. Yeah. Sublimination, Richie. Learn how to DIY your own multi-layer stencil screen printing press. It's really not that hard. No. I don't, I would rather see, the thing is with printing stuff, especially if you haven't been doing it for a while, is like printing doesn't scale up, right? Because I can only print so many shirts in a day as a human being, as one human being. Let's say, I don't know how many it is. Let's say it's 200. I can only do 200 in a day just because of time constraints, right? And so
Right.
I try to stay away from stuff like that. Though it's fun, it can be very fun. Crafts and things of this nature, they can be fun. Have a great time. You know what I mean? You're making cool stickers and shit like that. I try not to spend too much time on them.
Yeah. Well, that's another thing. As you start to blow up, you almost have to cordon off your time every day. You know, like I can do this until this time, and then I need to do this, or else you'll be like me this last week.
All over the place?
Just, yeah. Yeah. Still putting shit out, though.
Yeah.
Still putting shit out.
Just upended your week or what? That's
Yeah.
all right. That's all right. It's not everything's not always going to go smoothly though. But you know what? You still put out some decent content. You know what I mean? You put out good content. You had good interviews and everything. Nothing came out bad. I don't remember seeing anything bad.
Oh, no.
Yeah.
Pee-wee's audio was all fucked up, bro. His internet was jacked up.
I do remember that. You're right. He kept falling off.
So if you guys watch the live and then you watch the edited versions, then you get to see me in action with my editing, because I tried to make it pretty seamless in the editing.
Grab a soda real quick.
All right, there we go. Get us a little something to drink. Yeah, me first, Brandon. I know. I need one. I need one because I just ordered a newfangled. It's not as fancy as the one that Bigfoot wanted to send me or wants to send me. Bigfoot has like $150 super dope mic that he's sending me. But I figured until then, I could order a $35 one that has all the controls on it. And it comes with an iPhone plug. So I don't even have it's actually made to go into the iPhone.
Next thing I want is a mixing board, dog, a soundboard. I got that little drum machine. I got a dope ass drum machine. But I'm pretty sure it ended up. They didn't really tell me it was stolen, but I think it was stolen. Native Instruments. I think what they were beating around the bush is that like I had bought something stolen, but that I could get around that by buying brand new software. Basically, I had to buy whole brand new software. It's like $70 or something like that.
Yeah, but that beats the alternative of paying full price.
No, that is full price.
Oh, so you could have just gotten a new machine?
It would have cost me a little more. I mean, I got a deal on it, but not a super deal. No, I paid $100 for the thing. It's like $250 brand new. I paid $100 for it, but now I got to pay $70 for the software.
Right. So $8 more in, you would have had the real deal.
Yeah,
brand.
And I wouldn't have to be dealing with this nonsense, and one less headache. Yeah.
Yep. It's a cold game out there in Denver.
Hey, you take your chances. I took my chances, dog. You know what I mean? I took my chances and I got hit, homies. Sometimes you take a loss, dog. And it wasn't his fault. He sold me, what he sold me, it works. It does work.
Right. Plus, it's not like he said, "Hey, man, this has been mine my whole life. I bought this," and you know what I'm saying? Like, you knew the game.
Yeah, yeah. But that I have has a MIDI controller in it. I don't know if you know what a MIDI controller is. That my iPad has a MIDI controller in it, and that shit is dope. You could do all kinds of stuff with it if you know what you're doing. I really don't. But like if you know what you're doing with an electronic keyboard, you can get down just with an iPad. Homie, that iPad has saved me so many times.
I have an iPad. I have a pretty good iPad. That's not the newest generation one like I want. I want the new one because the camera is just like on these iPhones. It's that triple camera on the back, 4K, but it follows you. So I get that little movement in when I'm in front of the camera. So,
homie, that camera, I could be sitting right here like this, and I'll move, and the camera will slowly shift, put me back where it wants me to be, dog. It's dope.
Yep.
Yeah, I've got that one. It was a great buy. I bought it. I wasn't sure about it. I was like, I didn't really need it. It's saved my ass a couple times. Whenever I didn't have anything, whenever the internet was out here and stuff like that, you know what I mean? That thing has saved my ass. I've been able to still run my channel.
Yeah, that's what I would be using over, like what camera are you using? Because you're on a computer.
This is an actual, it's a good camera.
Right.
It's like a 1080 webcam, 1080p webcam. Not super high end, maybe $60-$70.
So as soon as I buy myself a new laptop, and the laptop, the good thing is laptop doesn't have to be anything special. It can be like a $250, $300 laptop, right? Because all I'm doing is YouTube on it.
That's it.
And I can use zip files or the portable hard drive to hold my videos on. So I won't clog up all the memory and slow my computer down with that. So I'll just zip drive everything, and I'll just have a box full of zip drives.
I see what you're thinking. That way you just keep it. You just always got a fresh computer. Just keep it so that way, even if it's an old one, I have one like that I keep. It's got all my banking information. That's why I keep it.
Yeah,
it's got all of my banking passwords and stuff like that. But it's about 10 years old or something like that. I don't really use it for much. And it takes forever even to load up and shit. It is. I made the mistake of downloading AutoCAD on it whenever I first was in college. And that was a bad idea. And ever since then, even though I removed AutoCAD, it never sped back up again. It slowed down immediately and never sped back up again.
Huh.
It makes me want to wipe it. I honestly, I feel like wiping it just to see, because I haven't used it in a while. I should charge it.
Right.
And just
so, Conrad, there are pros and cons to LLCing our channels. I did not LLC, but I've done a name and likeness license. Like what's it called? God, what's it called? Anyway, for my name and likeness, but I won't LLC because then you run into tax issues when you're trying to spend your own money.
Yep.
You basically have to pay yourself out of the LLC. And if you were to just go take money to go do something like fix your car, technically that's embezzling money from your own LLC. So there's little issues that I just don't want to run into.
So what is you doing it like a 1099?
Yeah.
1099?
Yeah, I'm just paying my taxes. I don't give a shit, bro.
So YouTube hits you for like 40% off the whack, right?
Yeah.
And then you get 60%. Isn't that what it is? It's 40-60, isn't
it? It depends on what we're talking about. If we're talking about ad revenue,
yeah. I thought it was all 60-40, but is that wrong?
I think right now advertisers are paying around $14 or $15 per ad on my channel, and I'm getting about, what did we say last night? $7.50 or $8 out of that. So yeah, probably right around, what's that, 70-30?
What do you think?
And then when it comes to super chats and super stickers, it's like a 60-40 split. A super thanks is a 70-30 split. So, I mean, everything's kind of got its own little split on what they take out of you.
Okay. But then whatever that cut is, so let's say it averages out to 65 or whatever.
Right.
Then with that, as a 1099 employee, you're going to owe a third of that to the government at the end of the year, right?
A third of what comes back to me. So YouTube does not present the money as a whole and then take their cut out. They present the money. This is what you have after we've taken our cut. This is your earnings. So you take that earnings and you squirrel away, 28% of it into a bank account. And then either quarterly, I'm going to do it yearly so that I can draw interest off that money, and I try to put 28% away into a interest drawing account. But I can't lie. That's been real tough. Because the money's there, but it's not quite there. Once I'm at 10 or 15,000 a month, that'll be easy to do. Especially at 15.
I would think so.
Yeah.
If you were bringing in 15,000 a month, I would.
Right,
I would hope you could do so.
Yeah, but at 3,500 to 5,000 a month,
that's not enough, huh? That's straining you.
I mean, do I want to put a third of that away somewhere? Or do I just want to go ahead and spend that $800, or $1,200?
These are good problems, brother. Good problems.
You're right. Or do I just want to wait till December and give my whole December check away to taxes?
Pretty much.
Much.
Yeah. How have you? What DoorDash gives you a little thing at the end of the year, huh?
Yeah, they'll send you an email
for your miles. It'll have your miles in it and stuff like that.
They will, but they'll only count the miles of the run from the restaurant to the house.
Mm-hmm. The actual active, like, dashing miles, huh?
Listen, we'll talk about this on the back end. I'm not going to say it on YouTube, but you just put, yeah.
You figure it out.
They're very loose when it comes to your interpretation. They don't mind.
Waivus? Yeah. Well, no, I'm gonna
You could double whatever their mileage is. Safely.
We're gonna I'm gonna have a lot of deductions at the end of the year. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Thank you, Miss Thang. Good looking. I love you too, girl. Richie Poe.
Happy birthday, Miss Thang.
Yeah, let's see. I would think a doing business has just as good as LLC for content creation unless you had a partner, then you need limited liability. Oh.
So the LLC does come in handy when it comes to cases of libel or being sued. But as long as you don't step outside of the facts, and you can do that very loosely. You say, this is what the court alleged they did, right? Or at least in my case. Like, I don't have to be right. I could just put allegedly in front of it. And when I know I'm right, then I go in hard. And only twice has that bit me, where I was sure I was right. And then it was proven to be the other way around. But I didn't do anything that would put me open for a civil lawsuit. You have to be very careful about your wording.
Yeah.
That's true. When you're doing what we do, when you're reporting on things.
Because, and people don't even think about that. The things that you say, it could come back. You could say something today and then it comes back to bite you later on.
Right.
That happens all the time. We see that happen all the time.
I was 100% sure that Ray had done that to a young woman. And she was young, but she wasn't that young. She was legal, So that's a case in point right there.
She wants to hear something. What's she talking about? I'm not sure.
Oh, I'll tell you. Yeah, definitely.
DBA?
DBA, I don't know anything about, but I am going to be looking it up. That's 100%. I love when people give us tips, you know, like shit, we're bumping our heads against the wall as we're trying to learn all of this too. Like if you got nuggets of information, man, pass them along. We need them.
Because that's what I'm thinking is that, like, you know, okay, so the if I just start my own website, then it cuts out any of that shit, Teespring or any of that. They are no longer getting money. Conrad's here in the city with me. If I'm taking the orders through the website and the orders go straight to Conrad and he's making them and sending them out.
You could piggyback on his LLC.
Yeah. Maybe. That might be a good idea. And I'm not even thinking about doing that. I'm not even going to do orders like that. Like what I'm going to do is I'm going to do limited numbers of things.
Yes.
I'm going to make like 4 or 5 hoodies with a certain color scheme, a certain colorway, and a certain logo, and then that'll be that whole run. And whenever it sells out, it's gone, and that won't get made again.
So I have been, ever since all this fuckery started happening, I've been really watching comment sections, other people's channels, seeing kind of who has my back the most, right? And that's who my wrenches are on my channel. Those are the people that ride for me. I'm putting together special t-shirts just for them. And I'm going to order them all. I'm going to get everybody's size, you know, and it's going to be like a nice thing just for us that nobody else will be able to get. Nobody else will be able to buy, you know. It'll be just because I appreciate them.
Yeah.
But so that'll be probably the biggest order that I do. Other than that, it's kind of a order as they come in type of deal. Give me your address. I'll go on. I'll design the shirt. Every shirt's kind of different because they don't keep the design. Like I know what I want on the front of it and I know what I want on the back of it, but it depends on how far my fingers stretch this way or the tilt, or you know what I'm saying? You get the same design, but it's different because I'm putting it together on the spot through Amazon.
So you're making a new one every time, basically. Even if
Yep.
it's just close to the same, it's going to be a little off.
Yep.
Yeah. Yeah, I see what you mean.
But I definitely want to streamline it, and that's where, like Anna, I know does t-shirts, so I just got to get the designs to her, and I can order. You know, I'll probably order, I don't know, 10 of each size maybe, or 22X, 20 large. I don't know, 8 medium and 8 small. Something like that, you know?
Okay.
So I don't know, bro. Like I said, I've never really given it much thought. And now it's becoming like a thing. And everybody keeps talking about, you know, swag and merch. And I'm like, all right.
I just don't like the idea. I was talking with Conrad about it too. I don't like the idea of my name on something that's like trash. Like I'd rather sell shit that was like actually quality, even if I had to pay more and charge more. I'd be able to charge less in general if I own the whole website and we're getting it, you know, directly from the distributor, right? But I would rather have. I don't want something that's being used as a rag, an old junky T-shirt with my name on it. I don't want that. I want something somebody's gonna pay for it and they're gonna actually keep the shit, right?
Yeah. Yeah. Well, that's why. And here's the thing. When I sent, let's see, I sent one to Ruger and I sent one to Jamie Rupert, right? And those were, I think Ruger had won one in a raffle And Jamie Rupert, I did it because she had entered the raffle and then I had to give up that raffle. And she said, well, just put the entry into the next raffle. And I said, okay, well, if you don't win, I'll send you a shirt anyway. And I did. But I got a hold of him and I said, you know, hey, don't bullshit me. Don't tell me you love it, all that. What's the quality? What's it look like? And both of them were like, no, it's awesome. I'm like,
good quality.
I need to know so that I know whether to go through this company again. And both of them said that it was good.
And how's it look after it's washed? Does it
I'm going to have to get a hold of
fade
them and find
shrink?
out.
That's what matters. Does it fade and shrink?
Right. I'll have to check, see how many washes Jamie and
does it get all brittle after you wash it a time or two? You know
right.
what I mean?
Well, Martha sent me the one. She sent me a banner too. The one of me, you, Weavy, and Spence. And
I was talking about that 410, about that was kind of the hats that I would want to do. The like New Era, I would actually like to do name brand hats. If I'm going to put my name on it, I want it to be on an actual name brand hat.
So listen, I'll talk to you in the background about New Era too.
Okay. What, they test on animals?
No. I know how to get the cost down and get actual stitching put on the front.
That's what I want. That's what I was talking about. That's what I want. I just wanted to say like gangish right there.
You see, right, that'd be super easy. Yeah. And
I don't want it to be obnoxious. I don't want a big logo or nothing like that. I just wanted to say gangish kind of by the temple.
Right. And the cost for you would probably get, and it's not through me. I'm not going to say do it through, I'm going to tell you exactly how to do it for yourself. Where you can get the cost down to like $18, $20 a hat.
Oh yeah. What do you think about the homie's new clothing line called Big Dick Energy?
I love it. Love it. Can I get a t-shirt? Whose is that?
That's the homie Conrad.
Hey, I need one of those shirts immediately. I'll buy one right now.
What up, AJ? I see you.
I'm dead serious. I'll buy one right now. I'm going to make one that says Big Rick Energy.
Yeah.
I'm dead serious.
Big Rick.
Big Rick Energy. It's coming.
That'd be dope, dog.
Listen, I'm selling that. Wait till my next live. Hey, thank you, Conrad. Thanks for the idea. Thanks for the muse, bro.
Big Rick Energy.
Big Rick Energy.
That's dope, dog. That's dope, homie. Really?
See, this is what YouTube should be right here, bro.
Hell yeah. Yeah, that's what I'm going to do. I'm going to go talk with the homie tomorrow, and we'll see. And then I talked with my homegirl about getting, she's got a friend who does logos. And she's like, you can't do any, because I told her I was kind of excited about the merch store. She's like, you can't do anything until you get the fucking logo. You don't got a logo. And she's right. She is right. I don't have a logo.
Listen, I had already started to do it off on my own through fucking Amazon, bro, before I knew anybody who came at me and said, hey, I have the thing happened with Cuzzo, and then Anna kind of disappeared. And we were always friendly, and I've never done anything to her. And then now that she's back, like, I've really clung to Anna. We've become really good friends for the last, like, 2 months, maybe. And through our talks, and she's like, yeah, I have a t-shirt press. I'm like, oh, well, guess who I'm going to be using, you know? And I'll buy the good shirts, you know, those good, solid quality shirts, and just ship them up to her. And then we'll get the logo. And she'll print away, and I'll just split the percentage with her, you know, split the see, I'm retarded right now. The profit with her.
I'm trying to remember the name of those shirts that we used to, we used to get from J.C. Penney's. and they were like higher end white T-shirts, higher end white and black T-shirts. Man,
And they were long.
I forget what the hell they were called, but they were really nice shirts. They were like 100% cotton, and they were really nice shirts.
See, I like long 2X, bro. I don't like the wide 2X. There's two different type of 2Xs, bro.
Yeah.
My shit needs to be long. It doesn't need to be wide because
that's what he was saying about Gildan, the brand Gildan, the one that you get at Walmart.
yeah,
Yeah, he said they turn into a square. Whenever you
They
wash
do.
them, it turns into a square.
they do. And then you look like fucking SpongeBob SquarePants walking around, you know, with a dope design on. I've had it happen a million times. Yeah, exactly.
With your
You're out
belly
here
button,
and-
with your belly button hanging out.
I swear to God. And everybody thinks I'm fat. I'm totally not fat. I'm like a little over 6 foot, 205. Like I am definitely not fat in any manner.
Stafford, that's the name of the brand.
That's not the one I'm thinking of, though. The one I'm thinking of, you could buy at like corner stores, or the Asians used to sell them in their shirt stores, bro.
Oh yeah.
And they were bangers, bro. They were like, we always got our shirts from them. I can't think of the brand. I'm gonna have to go looking. Those are the brand I want though, because they stay long, they don't widen out, and they stay dark. The black stays dark.
Mm-hmm.
And they're crisp, bro.
Yeah. Timo DeVille says Donald Trump for prison 2024 for what?
No, Timo.
For the failed what's it called, the failed impeachments, or the Russiagate thing that was all made up, or the FBI investigation that was pretty much seems to be like illegal.
Anybody but Biden 2024 or Harris.
Yeah.
Give us something. I wish two fresh incoming nobodies were the two that we had to choose from. You give me Tulsi Gabbard versus, I would say Marco Rubio, but he already ruined that by running once. But you give me Gabbard versus Rubio. That's a good election. And we're going to get something out of either one of those as president.
Did you see they officially nixed student loan forgiveness today?
Yeah, oh yeah, I got the emails.
Yeah. Oh, did you get an email?
Oh,
I didn't
yeah.
even check mine.
Yeah,
I saw it on the news.
You owe us money emails.
Is that what it says?
Yeah.
Just so you know, don't forget.
Yeah, hey, your shit's running. The clock's running on you again.
Yeah. You're gonna die in a little while here.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You know, don't make us start taking that money from your paychecks.
Yeah. They had good deals. Yeah, I actually grew up in the Asian part of Denver. The part of town where I'm from in Southwest Denver is Little Saigon, is what they call it. And yeah, you just got to buy everything from them because they're the ones who own all the damn stores.
Damn, Timo came in hot. He said DeSantis is a pinche
Oh, man.
Niazi.
This guy's deep in a California neighborhood somewhere, isn't he?
Oh, yeah. Hey, Timo is literally, Timo's been a wrench. He's probably the first wrench that I've ever had on my channel. He's the longest running wrench that I've ever had on my channel.
Yeah.
And he's always giving me shit about Trump. You know, he's fuck that dude. And I'm like, yeah, bro, like, I get it. Like, he is not what you would call presidential quality. But that's kind of what, I mean, look at the last 2 years have been horrendous. They've been too hard to live.
Painful, dog. Like they say, they scream and they say, oh, they gave the rich all these tax cuts. Yeah, but the economy was booming. Everything was moving. It like, yeah, rich people were getting rich too. But now they just shut everything down and gave us a little bit of money and then gave all the money to the big dudes. Like 80% of all that money went to the top. And so now we're just sitting here and everything costs more. It's like everything costs so much more that it's punishing. And the elites don't care. They said, just like AJ was reporting on this, people ain't getting married. David's Bridal went out of business. Zales is reporting that the sale of wedding rings, engagement rings is dropping drastically. Because nobody can afford to the people at the top can afford to get married. That's the only people getting married anymore is the elite.
I got one more wedding ring in my life, and that's it. If it don't work out, it's fuck bitches,
Yeah.
gang gang.
MGTOW. MGTOW, you can be on AJ's show.
Yeah.
Up on AJ's live streams.
Blue hair, bro. I'm burning it all. I don't care anymore.
See, look at. They gave the major tax breaks to the rich. Yeah, but everybody was getting richer.
Well, hey,
That's the
they
thing.
did
Money
give
flowing.
those what were they? The PPO plans or whatever? They gave those out to the poor, but now they're just banging them on criminal charges now. It's crazy.
I'll tell you what, though. I've had my money in the stock market. I threw all my money in the stock market about 90 days ago.
Horrible place to be.
I'm killing it.
For now.
Killing it. Okay, well, I'm killing it. The last, month, dog, I'm killing it.
Well, why don't you throw some
That's the only
tips?
reason I can pay my rent. Is because I was smart enough to throw my money in the stock market. I had maybe $1,500. I threw maybe $1,500 in, and it's at maybe about $1,900 in a month.
Okay, so you and Wesley got all these stock market shit going, man. I see both of you, and neither one of y'all messaged me ever like, hey, here's a nice cheap stock you should probably buy into for $100. I see it going somewhere. I don't get no tips.
You never said you wanted to look at the stock market?
You
never said you wanted to check the stock market?
I'm in the money making market.
Well, any extra money that you have should be in the stock market. If you're not playing with it, it should be in the stock market.
Yeah, but then it goes down.
Yeah, but then it goes up.
I should just throw all the money I have in my bank account into Bud Light right now.
No, don't do that.
Don't do that. It's got to go back up sometime.
Don't do that. The thing is okay. Imagine like this. Imagine you've heard of a short, right?
Yes.
Okay, imagine a short is a rubber band. Imagine the market is something that's trying to pull itself up. It's trying to rebound. And a short is a bet against the market that pulls the market down. Okay? These shorts are placed by hedge funds. This is what a hedge fund is. A hedge fund hedges its bets. It says everybody else is betting that the market's going to do good. We're going to place some massive shorts here in markets that we think aren't going to do well.
And then Reddit ruins that.
No, hold on. Right now, there is more open short positions than there has been in 15 years. These are all rubber bands that are holding the market down. Whenever these hedge funds finally sell, these large institutions, BlackRock and all these things, whenever they finally sell these and they cut these rubber bands, you're going to see the market explode. There's a bunch of downward pressure holding the market down that is caused by uncertainty because they don't know what's happening in the world. But as we get farther and farther along and get a better picture, though the economy is not collapsing. As much as the media and everybody likes to say, we're actually doing fairly well. In general, people have more money than they've ever had. Things do cost more, but you know what's happening? Remember ChatGPT? Remember that?
Mm-hmm.
Well, all these companies were holding on all this money after the pandemic, right? Oh, we don't know what's going to happen. There's so much uncertainty. We don't know what to invest in. And AI popped up, ChatGPT. And these companies are dumping billions and billions of dollars into AI. And it's causing the economy to flare up again. So what we're doing is the economy is starting to grow with the inflation, right? It's not something that we planned on happening, but it seems to be a good thing. It doesn't look like we're going to go into a recession. This recession they've been talking about for a year. If we do go into one, it's going to be very, very, very minor. It's going to be slight, and we're really not going to feel it.
How many collapses have there been in the last 45 years since we've been alive? 2?
5 or 6 I can think of at least.
No, I mean total collapses. 2001.
2008.
2008.
Yeah, 2018 wasn't a total. It was a.
It wasn't a total. It wasn't like it wasn't like
the
01 and
dot-com
08.
bubble, 2008, the 80s, whenever Paul Volcker had to jack up the interest rate to 20%. So 4 or 5 times, something like that.
So every 10 years, you're going to lose all of it.
But you don't lose anything. You still own the stock.
Yeah, I get that.
It's the wrong way to think about it. See, that's not.
But when you're hedging, you lose it all.
Eventually, what you're going to learn, if you jump in the stock market, eventually you will learn to stop seeing the red as a bad thing, and you will start seeing it as an opportunity. I wish NVIDIA would go back down. I wish it dropped by 50% so I could buy more, because I still believe in the company. Even though the stock goes down, I still think NVIDIA is a good company, and NVIDIA went up 45% the other day in after hours.
So when is it time to buy InBev?
I have some. No, I don't have them. I have the other one.
They're about to go back up, bro. There's no way Bud Light's going out of business.
Coors is what I bought. I bought some Coors. I didn't buy InBev. I should have took out shorts on InBev, and I should have took out shorts on Target. And Target just got caught lying. I should take out a short position on Target. Target just got caught lying about that LGBT.
Let them fall a little bit more, bro. Catch them at the bottom of the dip.
No. You want the short. You want to catch them before. That's what the short is. You catch them up here, and as it falls, you make more money. That's what you want. But if it doesn't fall, or if it turns around and goes back up, you go to zero. That's how people lose everything.
Exactly.
No, that's placing options, though. That's different. That's not just buying stock. That's called trading options. That's how people lose all their money. It's also how you can make millions overnight.
Hey, I got to go. I just got a text message from one of the HA guys. He goes, "When's your next live?" I'm over at Ventura Rob's blowing out his roommate right now. These dudes don't stop, bro. But let me go. I got to call some people.
All right.
All right.
I think Weevy's talking about going live anyway. So, all right.
All right.
Later, my
take
friends.
it easy, guys.
Yeah. Let's see. Why back to rich? They could care less about the people in here. True. Yeah, I was doing a lot better. You know what I mean? I don't know. You know what I mean? I was making less money under Trump, less an hour under Trump, but everything didn't cost like this. You know what I mean? So, and man, that gas sure was nice, though. I'll tell you what, that $2 gas, remember that? Man, it was hovering here for a while. Whenever Trump was president, it was hovering about $2.30, $2.40. Whoo, boy. My car only carries like 13, 14 gallons. I'm filling up for $30, for less than $30. Whipping. I was loving that. Hook a brother up with them stock, yeah. Probably going to go for another 10, 15 minutes. If anybody want to come up. Bam, I'm going to drop the link right there. Captain Canada. Still doesn't explain why Bill Gates keeps buying it all, the farmland. I would say he's doing it because he's got more money than God. And whenever you've got piles of money and it doesn't even mean anything, might as well buy everything. Fascists hate like the GOP. Fascists hate. Oh, there's AJ. What up? You there, AJ?
Yo, what's up, man?
What up?
Dude. Property. Did you ever see that movie, that Enron, the smartest guys in the room? The documentary on Enron? Check it out, man. You can find it on Netflix or on Hulu, right? It was talking about all the foolery that Enron did, right? But one of the dudes, he was a Japanese dude. He was I think he was like the CFO of Enron. And he got away with like $800 million and just disappeared. And for the longest time, he owned the largest amount of property in like Colorado history. Like he owned hundreds and hundreds of acres of land, like if not thousands of acres of land in Colorado. And no one knew why. And then he sold it and disappeared again. But yeah, he got like almost $1 billion from the Enron run thing and then dipped.
That's crazy.
And they never caught him, man. So, but hey, I think, look, whether Trump runs or DeSantis runs, I don't see how Biden gets it done. Honestly, dude, I just don't. He hasn't even said who he's going to run with yet, because he probably won't even run with Harris again, and then he's going to face the backlash of, see, Biden's a white man threatened by a woman of color.
They try to act like she's not horrible. You know?
Yeah. But honestly, I really think that people are going to be anything but Biden, and then the people that are on their side, they even polled people in like California and Washington saying that Biden's too old, right? Meaning they would rather probably not vote. You know what I mean?
Yeah, but okay, so I'm gonna play devil's advocate for you. You know, like, because it makes perfect sense to me that we would vote Trump in, but Trump might be the only dude who can beat Biden. You know, because he stokes so much hate and nastiness.
Yeah.
Right?
I think though that this Bud Light boycott though, I think that, like, remember, boycotting things was always, you remember, in the 60s, 70s, and the 80s, it was always the conservatives that think of the children. Well, no one think of the children. Boycotting, Married with Children, because Fox, because Married with Children, or boycotting certain stores that sold like Ozzy Osbourne's music or whatever, But then over the last couple of years, it's been people on the left trying to boycott Harry Potter because of J.K. Rowling. But I really, really think that mainstream customers have forgotten they need you. They need customers. And the people who are the silent majority, like people who buy Bud Light, it's not just right-wing people. It's people that just don't want to see this foolishness in their beer commercials, like the same with Gillette. That the silent majority hasn't boycotted anything in a while successfully since Gillette. And I think people really are seeing, because this is happening in real time. And in the last month and like 3 weeks, we've seen this happen. So I think people are understanding, like, man, if they piss us off, they're in some trouble, So I wonder how that's going to work, this kind of empowerment now when it comes to, like, well, not politics, but other things, I don't know. We'll see. But yeah, Target messed up with its what is it called? Nut tuck bathing suit.
Tuck friendly. Hey, you know what's so messed up about the world is that did you see Alex Stein? You've seen that video, Alex Stein, right? In the bathing suit.
Yeah. You had a shirt on that. Yeah.
All I could think whenever I seen him in that bathing suit is, if I would have beat him to that, if I would have went down there and done that, I'd be famous right now.
Dude, you have 100,000 subs by Monday. Straight up, dude.
Yeah.
Oh, that would be hilarious. That would be so funny, man.
Yeah.
And it's crazy that, see, this is what I say, like, when we were young, because you had to be famous. There was only famous. There's famous and there was infamous, right? And you had to be good at something. You had to be a lawyer, a doctor, a singer, a basketball player. You had to be, hell, maybe you were like, a police officer that was a hero, or like an infamous gang lord or something. But now we have clout, right? Social media clout, where people get attention for anything. But you know who started clout? I think we had this conversation. Was that damn Cato Kalin?
Cato Kalin.
You remember him?
Yeah.
He was everywhere. He was on Johnny Carson's show. What did he even do? He didn't do anything. He was rubbing shoulders with all these celebrities and going to all these award shows. Like, dude, you didn't do anything. He was the very first guy that was, like, famous for no reason. He set up the whole Kim Kardashian, all that stuff, archetype, except he couldn't monetize it in the same way that the Kardashians did and stuff. But now it's all about clout, man. You know what I mean? And people will do anything for clout, man. I don't know about that. I'll be out there, tucking my balls inside of her. Inside of a Target Twister.
Hey, one of the comments I seen in my thing, they said you're supposed to have your underwear on anytime you try. Like, that's nasty.
You know what's funny is like I'm not even a pro-Trump guy, right? Like I'm not like dying to roll over to have him president again. But the thing is, they say some men. Remember on The Dark Knight, some men just want to watch the world burn. Remember? That's me. I just want to see him get in there just to see everyone cry about it.
That's what I said the first time. That's what I was talking shit to my boss whenever Trump was running the first time. I was like, I just want to see it just to stick it in the craw of the liberals, just for that reason right there.
It's gonna be all kinds of people. And here's the thing too. Think about how much more boring that TV is now because he's not in there. You know, the Washington Post, the Washington whatever, all SNL, everyone is they're secretly hoping that he gets elected again because then they'll have material.
No. John Roberts, go ahead. CNN's fake news. I don't take questions. I don't take questions from CNN. CNN is fake news. I don't take questions from CNN. John Roberts of Fox. Let's go to a real network.
Your campaign had an ad showing migrants climbing over walls and so on.
That's true. But they weren't actors.
They're not going to be doing that.
They weren't actors.
They're hundreds of miles away, though. They're hundreds and hundreds of miles away. That's not an invasion.
Honestly, I think you should let me run the country. You run CNN.
All right.
And if you did it well, your ratings would be much better.
If I may ask one other question, Mr. President, if I may ask
Peter,
one other question, are you worried?
That's enough. That's enough.
Mr. President, I was going to ask one other.
We are alarmed by the new calls to adopt socialism in our country. America was founded on liberty and independence and not government coercion, domination, and control. We are born free and we will stay free. It's great to be here with 1,000 wonderful people, or as I call it, a small, intimate dinner with some friends, or as Hillary calls it, her largest crowd of the season.
His visceral.
Are we ready? Is the country ready to have that back?
You know, look. A couple scenarios. Number one, Biden's going to run. If he runs with Kamala again, and he gets in, he could die, and that wicked witch of the West could end up being president, which is frightening, right? Because the whole world thinks that he's a joke, anyways, but no one likes her. Or he could pick someone like Butt Cheek. You know what I'm saying? What's his name? Pete Booty Cheek.
Booty Judge.
And then Biden dies, and then Booty Cheek is the president. You know what I'm saying? Come on, man.
Hey, that fool Booty Judge is half worthless, homie. This fool went on a vacation immediately. He's a Secretary of Transportation. That fool went on like labor vacation for maternity leave. That's what he went on, maternity leave for like 6 months while the nation was in the middle of that transportation crisis whenever we couldn't get the big rigs.
That Ohio thing or whatever?
No, in LA, whenever all the ports were backed up in LA.
That's right.
Yeah, this fool's on maternity leave with his husband.
Oh man, what a joke.
I'm
this
over
is the
that
thing,
dude.
Man, like we have, in my area, we have a lot of people from different areas in the DMV. And they're like, how do you Americans think this way? You know what I'm saying? You can't even figure out who a woman is and all this stuff. Like, well, what are you talking about? You know what I mean? Yeah. And I think that the worst thing I've ever seen still is that Latinx thing, man. Like when they poll people, it's like 99% of Hispanics don't like that word.
stupid.
99%. In my whole career of policy and even in grad school, I've never seen any poll where it was like 99%, unless you're like, our chomos bad. That's like the only thing that I've seen that's 99%. And the 1% that said the otherwise is the chomos. You know what I'm saying? But the whole Latinx thing, 99% of Hispanics when polled. And this is Cubans, Mexicans, you know what I'm saying? El Salvadorians all say we don't like this word. And white people said, you're gonna use this word or you're racist. Yeah. I don't know, man. What do you think is gonna happen? I know you don't think that DeSantis is gonna get in there, but do you think it'll come down to Trump and Biden again?
Yeah, I don't see how DeSantis is going to be able to get around Trump. Hasn't shown the ability to get down in the mud and really take him on, really challenge him, and that's it. If you're not going to challenge him, you're not going to get around him. So yeah, I think Trump will be the Republican nominee. I'm pretty sure of it. I see no evidence that he will be charged with anything. If you've noticed all those arrest warrants and all that craziness, remember that? How that
it all died down.
Yeah, how that went away. Yeah, because that was all a bunch of
smoke and mirrors, man.
Yeah, exactly. That was nothing. There was nothing to that.
You know what? This guy, Timo DeVille, he started. Okay, here's the thing. See, blacks. Here's the thing that my mom said, and I told you once that she grew up in the Jim Crow South, right? So she hears like young black people, like millennials and Gen Z, talking about like it's still the Jim Crow days, and it's not. And all it means is any type of racism, sexism, ism. Now it's kind of insidious, right? So instead of playing checkers, you got to play chess, right? But the young people, they want to play checkers, and what happens is that they get these quote unquote political victories that are meaningless, right? Meaning like they tear down the Confederate statue that the school's named after, but then none of the kids in the school can read. Right? They have like 24 all black schools in Baltimore, and none of the kids could read or do math.
Yeah,
oh, but the school's not named after Robert E. Lee anymore, but none of the little niggas can read. You know what I mean? And it's crazy too, like the whole school blastings, right? Rifles deleted like 340 people in 2021. Handguns killed like 50,000. And this is all the most marginalized groups: blacks, homeless veterans, the mentally ill, women, LGBT. More of them were deleted by handguns than by a magnitude than rifles. So banning assault rifles, whatever, it's a political victory. It's not going to do anything.
Yeah.
And what people don't understand is they get manipulated. It's suburban, usually white kids that are getting killed, but which sucks, which is bad. But 300 versus 50,000.
Yeah.
Like, dude, what? And politicians bank on being able to advertise these deals and these political actions that don't mean anything. They get a lot of political capital off of no solutions. That's why, like stopping school shootings is fine, but what about all the shootings that happen in the streets in Chicago and St. Louis and all these veterans that are biting bullets? They do that with handguns.
You're cutting out, brother.
That's always
cutting out, my friend.
Take a step back and look at it. What is this going to solve?
Cutting out, my homie, or is that just me? I think it's you. Yeah. Anyway, I'm probably going to cut it short. I don't know if you can hear me, AJ, but I can't hear you. But everybody in the chat, I think that's God telling us that it's over. We're almost at the 2-hour mark. And I'm getting ready to call it a day. Thank you, everybody, for tapping in. I appreciate you all. This has been a good one. Just been BSing. Thank y'all for showing up, everybody. AJ, you as well. Appreciate you. We're going to end this one. Later, my friends.